right. Gratitude day 18 of 31. Getting there. It's a nice little exercise. Like I said, one of the things I like about it, especially doing it at the end of the day for me, is you get to reflect on the day and you start realizing there's a lot more things that you're grateful for, maybe small things that are just kind of passing in the white noise and the routine of the day, other things that kind of stand out to you that you forgot about. But man, one of my favorite things to do with Cass is go get sandwiches or snacks. We love going to get snacks. Grocery store date sounds pretty lame, but maybe we're just at that age. But I just like the little adventure of like going out and getting some grub is awesome. I'm super grateful for that. We went out to this little local kind of whistle stop in town and got some sandwiches, got some spicy potato salad. It was awesome. Had a gift card to go there, so it was all good. So that's what I'm grateful for. Snacks with Cass. I know everybody out there has a snack buddy. I have a few other snack buddies who have had to endure the bane of halvesies, which I think is amazing. I'll eat half an Oreo and leave the other half in the container. People are like, "Why'd you leave this half in here?" Let me tell you, you'll know, because you'll be always excited to eat it. You won't feel as guilty because you only ate a half. Anyway, sharing food with good friends is the best. I think I've probably had gratitude for that one before. But today was for the snacks and the sandwiches. So, not a ton on my mind today. But did a good workout, 10 rounds, 10 cal echo bike, 1 seated legless rope climb, which was really fun. Again, beautiful day. So it was a nice workout. And then did 6 sets of 5 weighted pull-ups, a little upper body pull. I'd like to do something lower body. I'm going to do like a wall ball workout on Friday. Getting up to coach the early classes tomorrow. Was kicking around on the Instagrams today, and man, I'm a sucker for corny motivation. There's like these reels I get. I wish I could play one into this. Maybe I will at some point. Has like AC/DC Back in Black playing in the background, telling you that you're a freight train, and what does a freight train do when it hits an obstacle? And he goes like, it wins spectacularly every time. I think I watched it 15 times today. Listen to it while I did the cold shower. I like corny stuff like that. I think it if you can just let yourself absorb it, it fires you up. There's another one. It starts off, it's like, "Good morning, you fucking stack of sunshine." It's so good. If any friends of mine listening, I've probably sent it to them. But man, I could listen to that kind of stuff all day. Gets me fired up. And then I saw a comment on the podcast, and it was somebody talking about the right size me. And this got me thinking about working in teams, being the right size you, knowing kind of where you fit in the universe. We talked about the other day, just being grouchy, angry for no reason. And you just, the angry you get, you try to control everything. Just be louder, more forceful, more abrupt, more rigid. And then the more you do that, the more everything just goes out of control. And if you can just step out of that for a minute, it's such a good reminder of like, hey man, you can make some decisions, but you're not making most of them. So sit down and shut up and enjoy the ride. And then I saw this cat quote of "right size me," and I really just wanted to share that out there. I just really liked the way that was phrased. You can always be a bigger you. You can always push for goals, but there's a lot of value in being the right size you. It's just that humility check. I saw another one, speaking of corny Instagram, everybody will hate this. Because who knows? I think people look at entertainers and quote unquote celebrities and you're like, are they ever acting in earnest? I saw this really interesting interview once. I think it might have been with Johnny Depp. It was with some actor. And he was basically, I know it was a male actor. He was basically talking about how, after a while of playing a certain character, or playing a character a long time, performing as that character in public and on screen and showing up because I know some of the actors dress up and they go to like Make-A-Wish or like children's hospitals And he said at some point, and people interact with you like that character. He said at some point you start thinking and wondering whether or not your character is the real you, or you don't know who the real you is. You kind of can't tell the difference. I thought that was really interesting. But anyway, I'd probably talk about that. I'll make a note about that, talk about that one a different time. I thought it was a really interesting quote. But I was watching another cheesy Instagram motivational reel. I think it was from Pitbull. And he was basically saying how he tries to stay humble. And he was saying something to the extent of like, as soon as you acknowledge who you are, it's over. And I think what he was talking about is like, as soon as he acknowledges like the being or the persona that is his celebrity, it's over for him. And I think, probably just meaning like the ego gets too big, head gets too big. And again, I think it's easy to look at those and be like, he's famous. It's easy for him to say that. Rah, rah, rah. Maybe he doesn't really mean it. And we're human beings. It's hard for us to mean anything 100% of the time. But I just really liked the way he phrased it. He was just talking about how he says, thank you, grateful, appreciative, because he was saying how he realizes how he doesn't get to be where he is without the music, without the fans who support him. And he kind of said, without music, I'd be nothing. And then he talked about this concept, which I took another note on. I'd like to talk about more at some point. Complacency is the cousin of death. So that was a powerful statement. So note on that one to chat about it, some thoughts. And then all of that, just listening to him talk, all of that reminded me of, and I want to talk about this in a longer form, but I'll just kind of leave it here tonight, was one of my favorite pieces of advice I received was, I forget why we were doing this, but I think it was Alex Gallagher shared this. And he said, every day I realize I drink from a well that I had no hand in digging. And I might have shared that before here. It's a really powerful quote. And I really like it because I think, one, it's so easy for us to take for granted. This is the gratitude exercise. Everything that we have an opportunity to enjoy, struggle with, overcome, fail to learn from. Every day I drink from a well that I had no hand in digging. And I also think it's aspirational, inspirational that you might get to help dig a well for somebody else in the future. That's kind of how I think about that one, is there's this aspect of like, I need to stay humble because as much as my hard work helps me, pushes me forward, man, I'm really only here because of so many other people for so many other reasons who put their nose to the grindstone or gave up something. And I might not even know who those people are, but I like that. And the older I've gotten, or the more I've thought about this quote, originally it was just, being pressed down by not pressed down, but like feeling the pressure of the humility of that quote. And now it's aspirational to me in the sense that, wow, if I have gotten so much support from a well or wells that I've had no hand in digging, could I do that for somebody else? One other person at least. And I think that's really exciting to try to think about. So that's where my head was for that one. Kind of got there in a roundabout way, but a couple of big topics I'd like to dive into the future. Getting up early, coaching the 5:30, 6:30 a.m. classes tomorrow. So super excited for the day, and we'll catch you then.